Okay, we're going to start talking a little bit about R value. We're not going to talk about any specifics like how to calculate R value or anything like that, but just what R value is, and that's really all we're going to talk about. So first of all, R value tells you two different things. Okay, the first thing it tells you is direction of the data. In other words, is it going up to the right, down to the right, or is it just kind of random and goes all over the place? Okay. Now, the way you determine the direction of the data is by the sign. Okay, it's either going to be positive or negative. So if the data goes up to the right, like this data does here, see if you go, as you go to the right, you should be able to see some sort of pattern. Okay, now that's positive. Now here, as we start here, everything's to high, and as we go to the right, the points are getting lower and lower and lower. It's going down to the right, negative. Now, if you look at this one right here, these points look pretty much scattered all over the place. Okay, that's kind of a random pattern, right? Well, that would be zero, right? It's not positive, it's not negative. That's just neutral. So zero. Now we'll get to this one later. We'll talk about that one in a minute. So now the next thing is the strength of the data. Now it's going to follow along a certain path, or like this one's going up to the right. So the strength tells you how closely together it follows a pattern. Is it really tight like this, or like this? This looks like it's going up to the right also. So let's just go ahead and say this now. This one is going to be positive, right? Because even though it's all scattered around, it's kind of random like this, it's not as random. So here, for instance, all these points are all lower. Here, they're all higher, but they're spread out more. Okay, so this is positive, that's negative, and then that would be zero. Now the strength tells you how close they are together. So here, it's a wide range, it's scattered. Here, it's narrow, so it's kind of like it's like a measure of spread. So what we do with scatter plots is we often draw a line of best fit. So regression line is another word for it, but a line of best fit is an estimated line, and it goes down pretty much down through the middle. So if you think of this as like a path, where would the line of best fit go? It would go right down the middle. You don't connect the dots. It goes down the middle. It will usually go through some points, but many or most of the points it will miss. So you don't have to worry about connecting dots. On this one right here, you want to find the range of the data is mostly from here to here, width-wise, right down the middle. That's going to be your line of best fit. Okay, the strength is going to be, we're just going to talk about it as strong, weak, or zero. It actually ranges from the numbers where the absolute value would be zero is the weakest. That would be like this one, zero, and one is the positive. I mean the strongest. So the R values range from -1, so it's going to be greater than or equal to -1, and less than or equal to +1, with zero in the middle. Zero is the weakest. Okay. So strong, weak, or zero. So this one right here is positive. It's strong because these points are they're close. They're close to that line, right? This one is negative, but it's also strong because it's close to the line. This one is weaker because the points are far. Okay, so for now, that's all we're really going to worry about. Again, that 0, we don't have to worry about the sign because 0 doesn't have a positive or negative sign, and it's totally random.